Alright, what's up everybody? So I'm posting on YouTube because Twitter's just not enough time to capture everything that's going on with my rationale about where I think things are going. I'm not perfect by any means, but hey, I like to think I have an idea of what direction we're going and being prepared for it going up or down. So quickly, this green box, big area of support. So I have something to back it up, which is, let's see here, it's a heat map. So this thing has a good way of tracking how many areas are going to be visited if we end up coming down here. So you see all these little things peppered right here, but when we see these hard lines like this one, that means if we end up getting here, there's going to be a reaction. There's going to be a reaction, and we're going to bounce pretty significantly like we did there, here, and there's a pretty large stack right here. The more you zoom in, between about 33 and 32. So that doesn't mean that we're going there, but it's just if we do end up going there, I'm going to be laddering in big between this box because the chances of us bouncing from there and retesting this trend line or getting back over it are pretty high and significant. So yes, I'm going to be watching out, and I'm not going to use all my gunpowder because we also have this one. These right here are just more so revisiting the past. Okay, we end up going back over here, and this is going to be a likely spot of support, and this one will be a support. And again, challenging bias. I'm going to flip over this chart. It would make sense to me that if we end up getting here, that we're completing this kind of like this Adam and Eve pattern that we'll go here, and then we'll go there. So that's one way to look at it. But okay, so if we end up coming up here, reclaiming this trend line, and then recorrecting and bouncing back up, I can see that happening too, and us actually grinding through 48.50 and then making it back to 58. This is really going to be depending, I think, on Bitcoin movement because right now I'm neutral to bearish right now on Bitcoin because it's just not looking good. It broke a level. It already did it fell out of this triangle here, this pennant, this bearish pennant, and it already fell out. Did a bearish retest, and it looks like we might retest it again, and you can fall back to these levels. I'm not surprised if we end up bouncing here and recovering, or if we lose these lines, we're probably looking at 25 to 20k. So, like I said, I'm not that good at this stuff, but yeah, I can point out where supports and resistances are. So, okay, and we fell out of this. It's not good because it's going to drag everything down. Interestingly enough, though, Bitcoin dominance is actually just chilling. I'm surprised. I was expecting this thing to actually spike up, and it hasn't yet, and it will. It just hasn't happened yet. Let's see. Scroll a different time frame. Yeah, this one's already starting to show some. Yeah, you see, these are conflicting. This one shows that we're going to continue downward or that we can range, or again, it's already signaling for a move up. Every time Bitcoin dominance goes up, you see it in your coins, they go down. It's an inverse proportion. Let's see, I'm going to go back over here, back to Solana. Let's see. Okay, so I have this extension here because we ended up topping out there because we hit the significant resistance. Yes, we already hit this pivot, so that's why I'm also looking at this one. But before I look at this one, I'm more so looking at this action. So a lot of these indicators, they're not necessarily lining up. But one thing I can tell you is that let's see. This here, the MACD, is starting to lose buying pressure. It's declining, and this one is about to signal for selling. This is a 6-hour time frame. Let's see. 4 hours actually looking better on the momentum oscillator, but still, we still have this decline in buying pressure, and we're starting to get some red, but it looks more like ranging right now. I'm going to go down to the 1 hour. Okay, so the 1 hour, we're already starting to top out. So these are the things that are, well, this doesn't look so bad here right now because we topped out there, but this one is starting to like roll over. So that's, I don't see any divergence right now. The only thing is I do see a little more sell volume. It looks like we're starting to pick up, but I think it's going to be more ranging. I don't think we're at breakout right now. Let's see. Daily time frame. This is the one that's a little more concerning because we're about to roll over here. And I mean, it can start moving in different directions, but usually when this one is up here, we're going to start correcting. So when we look at the longer time frames or the higher time frames, those are the ones that can be like that football when you're running in a certain direction and then you turn around and you just timed it wrong. The football hits you in the back of the head. That's what happens sometimes with the higher time frames when you're in the lower time frames. This is happening while you're in the hourly, and you're going to be like, what's going on? And it's because the daily is starting to roll over while the hourly is looking good. So yeah, it's something to always kind of jump back and forth with the time frames to make sure that your trade setup is a little better looking. Let's see. Okay, so sometimes I don't even use moving averages because once the patterns are identified, they're gonna play out. That's the way I look at it. They're gonna play out. And one pattern, this is highly predictive, and I kind of don't like using them, but at the same time, it's good to spot them so you can keep your feet on the ground and realize that we could correct to these levels. Okay, so this would be it's pretty consistent with this area here. This would be support right here, but I'm looking at this for support. If we get the 29, yes, I will be firing a big shot at this area. Let's see, let me get rid of this real quick. Okay, and if we continue this trend line right here, I think we can grind and get above this trend line and grind through the resistance, and again hit 48 and even 58 if we're able to flip this area and then flip this to support and then start grinding up here. Remember, this isn't going to be one straight line up. It's going to take some work, and depending on Bitcoin, of course, that's going to tell a lot. And a lot of money starts exiting the market. I'm sure that's going to exit here too. So I would say be prepared for this area, like I said in that other clip, because if we end up breaking this trend line, lose this support, we're going to be dancing in here. And we already saw the heat map that there's a ton of action that's going to be happening here and be looking for lower levels. So I'm just right now, I have my bag that I don't touch, but I'm actually trading because I want to get more SOL. And if you're looking for dips, there's plenty of areas to be focused on if you're looking for dips. All right, so that's what I got right now. I think we're going to see some ranging, and this is a low volume weekend again, so a lot of things can go in different directions. It's a lot easier to manipulate, but again, this daily time frame, don't forget about it because we're topping out here. This can start to roll over and everything starts to shake every position that you're in. So break this trend line, I'm gonna feel a lot better, but we're rejecting from it now. So we spill out, look here.